Okay, guys, give us a minute. Give us a minute. All right, keyboard. For people on the call, you can hear me, correct? Guys on the call, can you hear me? But yeah, nobody's responding here. Yes. Okay. Thanks, guys. Okay. What a day setting up, guys. What a day, right? We're in New York City with Public. Great group, organization, a lot of great guys. Steve is with me here, and we're going to discuss some stuff. And so let's get the call started. Guys, 444. ES is lots of bad news out there, and massive China retaliation. EU is saying lots of retaliation coming. Let's see what Trump says today. Hey, and then we'll see. Then we see. So we have about 10 minutes. So we're going to talk a little bit about the market and stuff here. And I got Steve from Public. Steve, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, it's a, first of all, thanks for having me. We're very excited for the event in New York today. We got a great crowd. So if you're in the crowd and listening, I think most people in the crowd are getting settled in, but it's great. We missed all of you that couldn't make it this year. We did one of these last year in June, and it was a sleepy market. So I think we were all coming into it hoping we'd have an awesome day in person with some real volatility, and again, really be able to see Sam do what he does best. And we're very, nobody likes a down market, but as Sam likes to say, we're going to trade it, right?
We got to trade.
We're going to trade it. We're going to find the angles, and I think so on. So anyway, thank you for having us. Thanks for doing this with us, Sam.
So let's do this. We're going to talk a little bit about a few things before the jobs comes up, because the jobs is going to change everything. It change a little bit. It can rip the market up a little bit, or we go way lower if it's really, really bad. The things you got to remember, the biggest key is no emotions. When you're trading up, trading down, no emotions, because your emotions will make you do things kind of crazy. Now, Steve, he's with Public. He sees what their customers are doing and stuff. And what are you seeing now?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I think let's see what this morning brings. I think in the market overall, we're seeing a couple of things hold up okay, right? And in the retail popular names, right? I think we're seeing Bitcoin.
Yep.
We're talking about Bitcoin and MSTR actually holding up quite well, relative to what you would expect based on the correlations we've seen in those names over the last, few months. So we saw a lot of flows and interest there into both MSTR and Bitcoin yesterday. So the people that bought that are probably pretty happy, though they are down day over day. On a relative basis, they're doing pretty well. I think the bigger story was yesterday, being sort of a shockingly down day. We saw, and after what's been a choppy and down market over the last few weeks, we saw a lot of dip buying, a lot. On a personal level, my opinion is I think we should all be in a little bit of a wait and see mode until.
Are they buying the Mag 7, the safe trade, or are you seeing people buying the risky stuff that's gone down a lot and they're coming back?
Yeah, I think it was disproportionately towards. I would say they weren't buying the most volatile stuff. They were buying the indices. They were buying Bitcoin, right? They were buying MSTR, right? And there was some selling actually on the more risky stuff, but I think generally there were dramatic inflows. But again, buying the market, not trying to pick spots to enter, which was interesting again. But it was dramatic again. And after a couple of weeks of down markets, I thought most people had bought the dip they wanted so far. I don't know if, and then to see them buy with, again, it was the strongest dip buying we've seen yet yesterday.
Hold on a second.
Is this the morning call?
Yeah, it's being recorded. Okay. Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, talk live? Okay.
Yeah, so I think that's what we're seeing is still continued dip buying. Again, hard to pull out individual names, but generally I think it's broad-based. And a little, again, a little crypto large cap focused,
which
has been interesting to me. But again, what surprised me was after a couple weeks of down markets, really people coming in on the long side after one day of strong dip buying. Now we'll see if that continues today, right?
Okay.
And so we're all going to be paying close attention. Yeah. Oh, well, here we go. Now we're sorry for everyone on the call. They can't hear it. We just went live with the mic in the room.
Okay, so we got. I got.
They got.
So we got 5 minutes before the jobs report. The jobs report can change some stuff, right? Up or down. We're down 150. We're down 200. Nasdaq was down 700. So they've come back about 100 points, 40 on SPX. Let's see what happens after the jobs. The news is not good, right? The news in general, China's going to retaliate. So that's starting, I think, the 9th, they said, right? So that becomes a key date now for up or down. Something to think about, guys, JP Morgan does a collar. They do an upside and a downside. And that collar this time, it was at 5,600 SPX, and they collared it at 5,880. So they didn't really think it would go that far up. But downside, they went all the way to 4,400, right? So way, way, way lower. So that's interesting. And as you see, it's going lower. And think about SPXs. 2 days ago, you're down 180 yesterday. Here, you're down 440 points on SPX. So way, way, way lower. If you see these things, the two things we talked about yesterday that you want to keep a key eye on today is you had Apple, right? Apple broke. Apple's lower now. It's 191. This thing was at 220. And, I mean, the market is kind of funny. Things are interesting. Costco went up yesterday. Why did Costco go up? I mean, if you're talking recession, Costco's going to have a problem just like everybody else, right? So, but these things give you opportunities, right? When the opportunities come, if they're buying the wrong stuff. They may take it up for a day or two, and then they take it back down. But the news flow is bad. EU said last night, and we were at one of the places, we're doing a kind of a meetup yesterday, and the EU news came out, and it went down 19 points, and I'm just like, we're crashing. This is going down. Because, you know, when you start saying significant ramifications to the U.S. and this, that means nobody's calling to just throw in the towel yet. So that's interesting. Steve here thinks the same thing. We're in for a kind of down market for at least a week or two till something happens. I would think till the 9th, till is the next key date. We have the 2nd, Trump's Liberation Day. Now you have the 9th is implementation day for China and all those other stuff.
We got jobs in 2 minutes.
Yeah, we got jobs.
What do you think? I mean, a strong number? Do you think the market reacts? Do you think the market likes it? What do you think we see?
I think the market may like it a little bit because I don't think it crashes. I think that collapse comes in tomorrow because next week or next month. I'm sorry, next month's job report, right? Because you got all the auto workers, everybody else being laid off. So that number is going to be weak. But if it's already weak now, then way
catastrophic, right? I think that's probably right. I think the market's pricing at 140. I think that the range is 120 to 200. We see something over 200, maybe it's a little relief, but I think the market's reacting to what they expect to happen over the next 1 to 2 years more so than the next 1 to 2 months, right?
Exactly.
And so, again, I think even a strong number is not going to help that much. My guess would be it's a rally to trade, right? It's a rally to sell in the pre-market if we do get a strong number.
Well, the thing is, we all get emotional. I don't anymore, not on this stuff. But what you have to realize is you have many portfolios, you have many accounts, right? So the biggest thing that's very important is if you're sitting in all calls or you're sitting in stock and you have Apple, you have NVIDIA, and they're all crashing and stuff, you can't be saying, I don't want to buy puts because I'm in calls. I mean, right? And that's where you get beat up. It doesn't matter. You can make money on the other side too.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think the other thing, that the only thing that's going to move markets to the upside over the next few days is some accommodation from the administration. And I think that's the thing that could happen at any moment, right? One Trump tweet and we're gapping up. And I think, that could happen on Sunday, right? I think if we don't see accommodation before Sunday, like I said earlier, we might open in the future Sunday night, limit down if there's no accommodation and we see escalation from the EU and some of the other major trading counterparties. Yeah,
exactly. It's got about a minute and a half for the number. So let's see what happens. Up on my screen here, you can see the ES futures. So I traded, this is my Fidelity screen. I traded Fidelity and These are just all the numbers and things I'm watching, and we'll go through that more in detail in a little while. This is Schwab, and them. I use them for my ES and the futures numbers and stuff, just so you can see what's going on there. So you'll see here within another minute, Dave's going to yell out the jobs number when it comes. And then we'll see what happens here, and let's see what futures go.
I got my trusty Bloomberg mobile open here.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So let's see what comes up here. So that's where, huge day, fun day setting up, both up and down, and you're going to learn a lot. We'll be passing the mic around, questions all day long when the market's slower. Hopefully it slows down a little bit here. So let's see here. About to tick. Give it a sec. Dave, let us know when it comes.
Okay.
What was that? Did somebody? Ooh, the number has to be decent. SPX came back to 1.
Yeah, 228, really strong number.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay, so the jobs number is pretty good. That helps the market a little bit. But here's the thing. That number is not real, right? Because next month you got all the auto workers and everybody getting laid off and stuff. It does slow this down, this progressive rate of drop. Yesterday something happened. The market came back, 50 points. It was down 250, and then it came back 50 points. And people like asking me questions and stuff. And immediately I'm saying, well, why would it go up? I mean, these countries are going to retaliate. You got to just wait. And then, drop another 80 points back down. So that's where it's not bad. It's the number itself was good. So then now we see how it trades. Okay. So the news itself is bad. I don't see anything really good. And if we break down under this 5272, there's a 5272 that's a huge bounce area. I mean, I'm talking a 50 to 70 point SPX pop number. But if that breaks, then there's no support, and then we have a big low. You have anything else to add, Steve?
No, I mean, I think we saw a little bit of a spike on the strong number, but we've traded basically back to where we were right before.
Yep.
Again, it's sort of what we were talking about, which is the market. I don't know that the market's paying attention to things that they expect that happened last month or that they expect to happen next month. They're thinking about how's the tariff and what's the impact of global trade going to be on the stock market, on the economy over the next year, right? So.
Okay. Thanks, Steve. Okay, let's get started here. 4-4. We're in New York City with Public, our sponsor. Great place. Market's cratering. Going to be a fun day. SPX is down 140. You take 140 from 5,400 round number. You're at 5,260. So numbers are breaking all the way down. 5,210, 5192. 5132, upside back through 5400, all the way to 5509 on a big pop. So just understand this. If Trump comes out and says we're delaying tariffs for 2 weeks, we go positive and go up 150. Now, is he going to say that? I don't think so, but it's Trump. So we don't know, right? Once again, when you're trading, one of the key things you got to do is take politics out of the equation. It doesn't matter what you think. Doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. You just care about making money, and then after 3 o'clock, you can go kick. Okay? So very, very straightforward. Let's go through the numbers here. Avago is breaking down. You got 151, 156. If you bought those 160s with us on Wednesday, we bought them at the hedge at 54 cents. We sold them at 3, and they're going to be 18. So nice one here. You got 146, 141 on the downside, 138. NVIDIA, you got 103 up, 96 down, 91 beast down. CrowdStrike, 352, 309. Understand, if they're selling all this networking security stuff, because you can't slow down in security, right? That just means they will bounce first when it happens. Amazon, a little bit better, but they're going to be impacted by retail sales and all that other stuff. 171 up, 161 down. PDD, So we seen this yesterday, and we ended up getting out of it because it wasn't moving. We had the 115 puts. So de minimis, Trump enabled the de minimis act. So basically, Temu, if you buy things from Temu, anything that comes into the country for $800 is non-tariffed. So they were getting away with no tariffs, right? They're selling things cheaper. Now that goes away. So now they have a problem. You've got 101 and 91 on it. Apple completely breaks down 191, 182, 182 better break. It's got 169 written all over it. 200 on the upside. Meta breaking down. Meta was at 740. It was up 20 days in a row. Now it's breaking down. It's 509, 481. So guys, just remember something. Meta was at 370, and it had 4 bad quarters, and it went to 100. Remember, a couple years ago, it went to 100, and it came all the way back. So don't think things can't go down. They can go down a long way. Carvana, interesting. Tariffs, people said they make more money off of it, but here's the reality of the situation. If the economy gets bad, people are not going to buy cars at all, right? I mean, so even though they may buy more used cars than the new cars, they don't always, they may put that off anyway. Netflix about to break 900, 852 down. MicroStrategy holding up relatively well. It's actually up. Bitcoin is up in this. Very, very interesting, right? Bitcoin is up. MicroStrategy is up 301, up 309. Underneath 261 is a complete collapse. Goldman Sachs down 30. They're selling banks. If the EU comes in and starts attacking all of our banks, big trouble. So keep an eye on that one. 481 down. AppLovin trying to break 244 beast underneath 244 is 239. The NASDAQ, you got 18,100, 79.92 downside, and I'm losing my number here. 17,861 is a big number on the downside there. Microsoft breaking down 361, Tesla 251, 221 beast. If Elon were to say today, if he comes out on TV says, I'm leaving and I'm going to go back to Tesla, it goes positive. I don't think he's going to do that, but it can happen, okay? So understand that. So that's what we got, guys. That's what we got. Thanks, everybody. See you in chat. Okay, so that was the morning call, guys. Let me shut this off.